Today is the 21st of December and it's basically our last day of work before we shut for Christmas, and it is 17 degrees today, 5:46 a.m. and I think the summer has finally arrived. It's been quite warm the last 2 days. Even this morning it's not that cool as it normally is, and we're off into work. The roads are a bit quieter as a lot of people have already gone on holiday. Yeah, we shut down on the 22nd and start up again on the 7th of January, 7th to 8th of January 2024. So looking forward to a well-deserved break. I'm sure everyone is, and there are happy holidays. So why move to New Zealand? As I've said previously, it's a personal choice, but New Zealand can offer a lot of good things. One of them being job security, a stable economy, a stable and peaceful country. It's a safe, clean environment, beautiful outdoor activities and sceneries, job security. There's a lot of work in New Zealand and your job is secured. Personal well-being is highly valued. A good place to bring a family up, kids, and your knowledge and your experience is highly valued in New Zealand, which is great. Well, it's a lovely morning so far. Road's not too bad, and we got a bit of fog this morning into work, as you guys can see on the lower part of the screen. But yeah, enjoying my morning cup of rooibos tea on the way into work, and then when I get to work I always have my first good coffee. But yeah, we get rooibos tea here and a lot of other South African products in New Zealand. We've got a lot of good South African shops in New Zealand, and yeah, good biltong, good boerewors, and your traditional herbs and spices from South Africa and treats. So when moving to Auckland, got a lot of choices of different suburbs to settle down in. There again, it's a personal choice. Just a quick summary. Obviously, the further out you stay from the CBD, the cheaper the rent becomes, and residential properties also to purchase get slightly cheaper. Attached to that, obviously, is the further away you live from the CBD, is the more time you're going to be spending commuting in and out of work into the CBD. If you're lucky enough, most jobs come with free fuel or transport as a perk, and so it doesn't really matter if you obviously need to drive into work every day. It's just your time. You need to leave early in the morning to miss rush hour traffic, and in the afternoon as well, getting back home. But I'll be sharing sort of an overview of all the different suburbs shortly, and coming up in the video. So it's a beautiful morning this morning. There's been a little bit of fog on the road, and the Sky Tower's covered in a bit of a cloud this morning. It's quite dramatic, and it's actually a lovely summer's morning into work this morning. Right, here we have the map of New Zealand. Now, New Zealand is made up of the North Island and the South Island. The capital of New Zealand is situated on the southern tip of the North Island, which is called Wellington. The largest city of the South Island is Christchurch. And then the largest city, working city, is Auckland, which houses about 1.5 million people. Now just zooming in around the suburbs, sort of just to give you a high-level summary overview, is the city itself, CBD, is situated here, where all the ferry terminal is Britomart train station, where you can catch either the ferries, the buses, or the trains. Linking the North Shore is the State Highway 1 with the famous landmark, the Auckland Harbour Bridge. You cross here, that takes you to the North Shore. Just zooming a little bit more into the city, as you can see here is the main wharf ferry terminal that connects you to Britomart train station and the buses. Just slightly to the west is the Viaduct Harbour, which is a very touristy area, pubs, restaurants. You also got some new high-rise apartment buildings around the Viaduct Harbour, which is also rather pricey and upmarket. Slightly to the west is Ponsonby. It's a upmarket shopping district with a lot of lovely restaurants and cafes as well. A lot of art galleries. And then this leafy suburb around Ponsonby. Slightly more to the west is Herne Bay. That takes you again to the Harbour Bridge. That takes you to the North Shore. Just leading you onto the North Shore, you've got Northcote Point, which is also a very nice upmarket area, and then Birkenhead, slightly to the west. Just across to the east is sort of peninsula here. You have Devonport. Now Devonport, most people that live here, is also a very upmarket area, wealthy suburb, a nice shopping area down here, in restaurants and cafes. People commute that work into the city via the ferry terminal. The ferry crosses here just about every hour or so, from Devonport in to the main wharf ferry terminal. In the city itself, around the CBD, is a lot of students that live here, because we've got Auckland University situated here. And then the sort of central suburbs of the city are Mount Eden, Mount Albert, Newmarket, we've got Cornwall Park and Epsom. Slightly to the east is Remuera, takes you down to Meadowbank, and then Mission Bay, which is a very touristy, beautiful area here, upmarket area as well, with restaurants, cafes and shops. And then out to the west is Henderson, just the western suburbs, Massey and Hobsonville. Just going further north, you've got Takapuna, Milford's also a very nice area, Glenfield, then Albany. A lot of South African people live around Albany, Browns Bay. And then further north even is Whangaparua, Peninsula, Red Beach, Silverdale, Millwater and Ariwa, also a very nice area up here. Now slightly inland is Dairy Flats, still part of the Auckland, Greater Auckland, a lot of agricultural properties and lifestyle properties here. Funny enough, Coatesville is one of the wealthiest, highly priced lifestyle properties situated here close to the city on the North Shore. Takes you down to Riverhead, and then also Kimu, Hupai, Waimaku, little suburb towns around on the North Shore. And then further moving down south, you have the southern suburbs of Mangere, close to Auckland Airport, Manukau City, Manurewa, Takanini, and then Papakura. Now, just some of the southern suburbs do have a bit of a bad reputation with a bit of crime, but there are some lovely suburbs in the south as well. On the east, a bit further out, is Hawick, also some very nice suburbs out this way. yeah, that's sort of a high-level overview of the suburbs of Auckland. We're going to take a drive through some of them to show you to give you a sense of what it looks like, and then also look at some of the rental prices that you pay in the different suburbs. Now, rent is paid on a weekly basis in New Zealand. Let's do a quick recap summary. Starting off with number one is the central city itself, where most students live, and the Viaduct Harbour, and some high-rise apartments. Number two, you have the central suburbs, just south of the city, which is the Mount Eden, Epsom, and Mount Albert areas. Number three, just to the east, is Mission Bay, Remuera, and Harwick. Number four is the western suburbs of Henderson. Five is the southern suburbs of Mangere, Mangere Bridge, Manukau City, Takanini, Papakura, and Otahuhu. North Shore City. Number six, Northcote Point, Birkenhead, Glenfield, Takapuna, and Devonport. Number seven is the North Shore itself, is Albany and Browns Bay. And then further North Shore, Rodney area, Silverdale, Millwater, Rewa, Red Beach, and Whangaparua. Time now let's take a drive through some of the suburbs just for you to get a feel of what the suburbs look like. And starting off with the central suburbs of Mount Eden. So enjoy the drive. The town of Mount Eden. You can see the famous statue on the left here. So we're going through Mount Eden, and quite a lot of old historical buildings here in Mount Eden, and lovely architecture. There's an old cinema here, the Capitol Cinemas. Lovely old buildings here in Mount Eden town. Veggie Delights on the right, Big Eats on the left, and that was Mount Eden. And I'm going sort of now to the residential area of Mount Eden. So it's the leafy suburb of Mount Eden. Lovely, very close to the CBD. I'd say 15 minutes drive, 10 to 15 minutes drive to the CBD, Mount Eden suburb of Auckland.
Take the next left onto Manukau Road, Route 12, then turn right onto Campbell Crescent, then turn left onto Market Road. Take the next left onto Market Road. Continue on Market Road for 1.5 kilometers.
So we're approaching Cornwall Park. It's also a suburb very close to the CBD, close to Mount Eden. So it's between Remuera, Epsom. You get Remuera, Epsom, Mount Eden. Coming into Remuera.
In 400 meters, turn right onto Remuera Road, signs for Meadowbank, Ellerslie. Turn right onto Remuera Road, signs for Meadowbank, Ellerslie.
Remuera is an affluent suburb with a lot of wealthy people that live here, and some beautiful homes overlooking Mission Bay. So we're entering the shopping area of Remuera. Driving through Remuera, and we're going to be heading towards down the hill to Mission Bay.
Meters, at the roundabout, continue straight to stay on Aurake Road. In 300 meters, at the roundabout, take the second exit onto Kepa Road, Route 6.
We're on Kepa Road, turning into Patterson Road.
Take the next left onto Patterson Avenue,
which will take us down to Mission Bay.
Continue on Patterson Avenue for 1 kilometer.
So this is the suburbs around Mission Bay, which is also about 10 to 15 minutes drive to the CBD.
In 300 meters, you will arrive at your destination.
So Mission Bay is also quite an upmarket affluent suburb, and a very touristy area with a lot of restaurants and cafes here at the beach. Very popular area here in Mission Bay for restaurants and cafes, and a lovely beach. It's just very close to the CBD. It has a long walk and cycleway along the promenade in the harbour. You can see all the restaurants and cafes in Mission Bay. Very popular tourist attraction here just outside of the CBD. The suburb of Silverdale, which is quite a new suburb here on the North Shore. It's north of Browns Bay in Albany. So you got Silverdale here, and then just down the hill is Red Beach and Orewa, which are nice. Orewa is a beautiful holiday beach town, and yeah, not too far from the city still. From here to the city is about 35 minutes. So we're coming down to Silverdale shopping area. You can see here, this is Silverdale Mall. And sort of service the suburbs of Millwater and Silverdale and Orewa and Red Beach. From here we will go down to Millwater, show you a bit of Millwater, and then Orewa. So we're coming into Millwater. Also a new suburb, and there's a bit of a shopping little area here in Millwater with a couple of cafes and restaurants and boutique shops here in Millwater. There's Millie's Cafe on the left. There's a couple of shops here in Millwater and another cafe here on the corner as well. And we're coming into the suburb of Orewa, which is here on the North Shore as well. It's about also just over 35 minutes drive into the CBD to Auckland from Orewa. So these are the suburbs of Orewa on the North Shore of Auckland. So we're entering the shopping area and the beachfront area of Orewa. There's a lot of cafes and restaurants and shops here as well. A lovely holiday town just north of Auckland. It takes you about 35 minutes drive from here into the city. Right, what does rent cost around Auckland? Let's have a look. So one of the good websites to use is Trade Me. You type in Trade Me, that's here, that's NZ, and if you're looking for a place to rent, it's quite a useful website. From here, you'll click properties and properties to rent, and you can set in your how many rooms you want, or your budget, your weekly budget. Remember, the prices are all in New Zealand dollars per week. You set your area and your suburb, and you do a search, and here we go. Here's some prices that come up. This is in Mount Eden, so in the central, just south of the CBD, just to give you an idea of what you'll be paying. There's a freestanding house there with the price and the bedrooms. Um, a lot of them are apartments and of other freestanding houses. So that's just to give you sort of a guideline of what you'll be paying in Mount Eden. You can browse and just have a look. Um, some very nice properties. A lot of the apartments are quite small, especially when you get closer into the CBD. Right, let's see what you're going to pay per week rent in Mission Bay. If you recall earlier in the video, Mission Bay is close to the city. It's a trendy upmarket area, very touristy. So you can expect to pay a lot more per week for rental properties in Mission Bay. Let's just have a look, select Mission Bay, and scroll down and see what we get. So this is sort of give you an idea per week what you're going to be paying for rental properties in Mission Bay area. So going down, there's some nice properties here, a lot of apartments and some freestanding houses. Just to give you an idea of what the rental is currently. This is in December 2023. Is a two-bedroom apartment. Is a two-bedroom apartment for $600 a week. And you can sort of click through the photographs to get a sense of what the property looks like. Let's look at the North Shore, what you're going to be paying for rent on the North Shore. So we're going to have a quick look here at Silverdale and Ariwa. We'll select those two sort of suburbs in the North Shore and Rodney and see what we come up with. So selected Ariwa and Silverdale and we've searched. And sort of these are the properties you can expect to find and pay on a weekly basis on the North Shore. So here's a four-bedroom house at $800 a week in Silverdale. Looks fairly spacious, quite nice. And as I said before, Silverdale's about 35 minutes into the CBD, 35 minutes drive north of CBD. Some apartments. Just Silverdale is fairly a new suburb, so most of the properties are all modern and new. So here's a four-bedroom, three-bathroom freestanding house at $950 per week. Fairly modern new house, nice and spacious. Right, let's see what rental you're going to pay in the southern suburbs. And we've picked Mangere Bridge as an example. Mangere Bridge, a fairly nice suburb, about 25 minutes drive into the city on the southern side of Auckland. Here you'll get some modern apartments, sort of just to give you a sense of what you'll be paying per week. Sort of three-bedroom for $700 a week. Lastly, let's look at what apartments are going to cost you in the city, in the CBD itself. These are mainly small high-rise apartments, and they're mainly designed and catered for students that study at Auckland University in the city. So these rooms are very small, and you're looking around for two-bedroom about between five to $650 per week. But as I said, they're very small, sort of ideal student accommodation. Here's another two-bed, two-bathroom apartment, a bit more modern, and we're looking around $750 per week in the CBD. All right, guys, so I hope that you found this information useful, just to give you a bit of a sense of the different type of suburbs and the rental you can expect to pay around Auckland. The best is to do your own research, take a drive around suburbs, go and get a feel for it, and do your investigation and see what works best for you. Right, before we go end this video, I'd like to share you some of my photography and video work I do of New Zealand. Beautiful scenery and landscapes of New Zealand. So enjoy, guys. Thanks for your support, and see you again soon.